Let's get started.
It's the Rula and Ryan Show.
Wake up, fool!
Hey, wake up!
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Right here.
Featuring Eric.
Eric, he is a bad, bad man.
Special K.
The big red K.
Are you threatening me?
I'm waiting for you.
And Sam.
I am a wuss! I am a wuss!
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Rula. And
Ding dong.
Ryan. 104.1 KRBE.
Well,
Good morning.
Morning, Houston, Texas. It is Thursday, the 1st of August, 2024, with the gang, Rula, Ryan, Eric, Special K, and Dua Lipa.
Hey, Dua Lipa. What's up, Dua?
Hi, y'all.
How?
No, that's not what she sounds like.
If you've never heard us compare Sam to Dua Lipa when she first started working
You're the
for us,
Western one.
there's a picture of Dua Lipa in our hallway, and I said,
like
Sam, you look
Deadpool.
like her.
Different
Today, she
version.
looks a little bit more like Dua Lipa than regular.
Yeah, why do you look like her today?
I don't
More?
know.
Maybe your hair slicked back? Well, not slick back,
I'm
but
getting
like slick.
a hair trim today.
I
Like hers, like what? Like a half,
Why
like
would
a
I
quarter
need
of
a
a half
hair
of an
trim?
eighth of an
Getting
inch.
even more.
It may be noticeable to nobody
It's
but
going to be not
myself.
noticeable.
Rula, it could be
It's not
noticeable,
gonna be
but I'm
noticeable.
very nervous.
Like
So I
how
was
much?
like, let me dress nice.
Oh my God, you are not even going to cut like even an eighth of an inch off.
Yeah,
that
if you're
hair.
even cutting
You
under
know
an
you're
inch,
not.
nobody's going to know.
You shut your mouth. It's going to be dramatic, guys. It's going to be
Come on,
dramatic.
get the mom cut.
I'm not doing the mom cut, but I'm doing a trim, and I'm very nervous because my hair is like my baby.
The cut
And it's
chooses
like-
you.
I'm not doing the mom cut. Stop it, you both.
Not
Even
yet.
if you cut like 4 inches off your hair, it probably, I mean, it's still long.
It's not going to be
It's
noticeable
just,
to anybody.
and it'll look thicker. 4 inches would be noticeable, not 1 or 2.
Should you pay the same amount of money if it's 4 inches off as
Yes.
opposed to like
So there's
trim.
no.
It's really just about like the hair length. Like they go from like shoulder up is a certain price, and then below shoulder is just a certain price. But mine's pretty long. Like mine's
If you
almost
go
down to
somewhere
my-
new, they'll ask you, is it long hair?
Yeah,
Like
mine's
you're a new
almost to
client
my
on the
belly
phone.
button. So
Is
it's
it
like,
really?
Yeah, it's really long.
Wait, that's when you put your head down, right? If you're standing up, your hair goes to your belly button.
Like what?
I did not think it was that long.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty long.
pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, looks like you need to cut your hair. Go sell that.
You can do
You go
locks
give
of
that
love.
away.
I'm getting a trim. I would do that. Like if somebody was doing like a huge thing and they're like you had to cut maybe like 6 inches off.
It's 10. You gotta go 10.
Oh, shit, that-
couldn't do
10
that.
inches.
Never mind.
Actually, 10 is still, your hair is so long. It goes down to your belly button, girl. 10 inches, you're still going to have it past your shoulders.
Yeah, it's still going to be on your back.
It'll be probably right past your shoulder if you cut
It's
10.
like a security blanket. My hair. Like it's just a comfort thing. Even though I never style it and
It's
I wear
legit
it.
a blanket. So she keeps herself warm in the studio when it's cold.
Yesterday I did something finally. I've seen it
What'd
on
you do?
TikTok for years, and I've always been jealous of restaurants that do this,
What is it?
and I finally got to do it. I went to a restaurant in Uptown Park or Uptown area called Lombardi.
Yes.
Actually, our friend is the GM there, Keith. He used to be B&B Butchers. Remember?
Oh, really?
Remember we all got stepped on, Kev?
Oh,
What kind of-
dear.
what kind of
This
restaurant?
is a very embarrassing moment
Italian.
for me. And
It's Italian.
Italian, okay.
They had that big cheese wheel out.
Oh,
They
the
put the-
Parmesan wheel?
Yeah,
Oh,
put
and
the-
they make
Oh,
the
they put the
pasta.
pasta in it?
Yeah, they heat it up and they got like a little burner next to it with the pasta. Keep it warm. Then they put it in there and just
wow.
Was it super cool to look?
it
Didn't
was
see
so good.
Was it
Didn't taste
delicious?
it
And they
good?
put truffle on it.
Whoa.
It was
So how did you even get out of bed this morning?
Yeah.
No.
Like,
Because I was drinking there, and then they have like a speakeasy, the secreto. Or how do you say it in Italian? It's for secret.
secreto.
Secreto.
Or is that in Spanish?
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to bring it up.
I don't know
like it is.
Italian.
But they have a bar next to it, like a little speakeasy looking thing. Like there's really no advertising for it. So I just started drinking there again. I'm
That's
like, oh
cool.
man, it's like 11. I better get
Oh,
home.
11
Yo.
o'clock and you drank that?
Wow.
It was 11 at night.
And you
I
ate
started
all
seven.
the pasta?
Actually, we started at 6:40 because we
Oh
got there
my
at 6:40
God.
for drinks before.
I thought I was being bold having half a beer at the Astros game
No, I
last
think
night.
10:40. 10:40 I got home, I think.
Whoa.
Or 11. I didn't drive, so I just got in the car.
It was just normal family
Wow.
dinner in Eric's world. That was just normal family dinner.
But that cheese wheel was like $800
Are you
Oh, I
serious?
for one of those cheese wheel things.
So wait, do they make like a majority? Like how many meals in that wheel did they make at the same time? Like just yours? Or
I was
you saw
watching
them going
people-
around table to table?
No, they do many. When I was in Italy, every restaurant there does that, basically. They just bring out that giant cheese thing and they cook the pasta in it.
Well, if you're like, I don't do
With the
dairy, so can you do like vegan cheese?
Well, also, once if you need
just
gluten,
mentioned that.
like if they
It's
have
just pick a
gluten
different-
pasta, you can't
pick
have
a-
the same cheese block.
Oh, well,
yeah.
then you're not
Just
going to eat
can't-
there, girl.
Yeah, you might go do
Just
that.
skip it. Go eat at home.
But it's funny because I was talking to Keith and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't want to do this at first. I thought maybe it was cheesy." I'm like, "Hey, that's your joke." He didn't mean a joke, but I'm like, I'm like, he's like, but this thing is a huge hit. Because I'm like, yeah, TikTok. All of us people watch these
Yes.
things, and I want to do it. So if you want one for that meal, that pasta with the truffle was expensive though,
Wow, how much?
Like, what was it?
like $52
For that pasta.
For that
ridiculous.
pasta?
for that pasta. But I'm sure
That
maybe
dish.
for that dish I don't
With
know.
truffle.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was that fancy truffle.
But
Why does
still,
truffle
$52.
cost so much?
Hard to get 'em.
You need a pig to find
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It's
Have you
hidden
tried
in
to
the
find
ground.
one on your own?
Well, this
You
pig
gotta get
found
those
it.
pigs to find them.
And truffle is what?
That's my
Like
chef, the pig.
mushrooms?
No, truffle is like a it's like a root.
Is it fungus?
I don't know what it is.
I think it is a fungus.
I thought it was,
Yeah.
like a
Fungus among
mushroom.
us.
of
It's so darn good.
something.
And you know, people are very polarized on mushrooms in general. I love mushrooms on pizza. I love mushrooms in pasta. I think it's because when I was a kid, if I wanted a steak and I couldn't get steak, I would have au jus mushrooms with rice, and I'd pretend like it was steak. And I loved mushrooms so much
Wow.
because I wanted steak. It was the flavor of steak, but it wasn't steak. So that's why I love mushrooms.
I've grown to
Do you
appreciate
still
mushrooms.
love mushrooms like
I
that?
still love
yeah,
them.
so I'm like that too.
Kevin doesn't like it.
Nope.
I like them with psilocybin.
What?
No, different kind. We're talking about the kind you eat.
Is that the one in California you can get?
Oh, you can get more than that. Place.
Kevin's
Well,
favorite
legally?
meal would be fish skin with a side of sauteed mushroom.
Ew.
But then he would dip it in his milk. He loves that milk.
And try a glass of
Would.
milk on the
That was
side.
good. I had 2 glasses of milk yesterday. One for lunch and then one for dinner. It was
Such a weirdo.
amazing.
Would you drink a glass of milk with like a sirloin steak?
I have.
He has it with pizza.
I
he
would
has it with
prefer to have a
salad.
glass of wine with it,
Yeah,
though.
wine would be better.
You dip your steak
It's
in
just
the
certain
milk.
things, you know. You need a glass of milk with
And
the.
what kind of percent is it? Like, what percentage are you?
Is it skim or whole milk or what?
He looks like a
I
2%er.
can't be doing that whole milk anymore. As much as I love it, and I would drink it all the
That's what
time.
Santiago drinks right now is whole milk.
But yeah, I guess I'm going to 2% now. It was catching up with me.
Just mix it with cereal.
All
Today
that
on the Rule
thick
and Ryan
milk.
Show, we got milk talk at 6:40. If you'd like to tell us what kind of milk you drink.
Truffle
Almond.
talk.
I did make almond milk once from scratch. I don't recommend it.
How do you do that?
gosh.
You just
Just
grind
make
up a bunch of almonds?
She's milking them,
I'll take you step by step coming up next.
squeezing those nuts.
You gotta
Celebrity
soak 'em.
scoop. How does
It's not cool.
Rilla milk them?
Yeah, how do I milk them? But in Celebrity Scoop coming up next, what Tiffany Haddish has admitted to doing to Halle Berry. And I'm waiting for Halle Berry's response. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. You're going to have to hear this story. Coming up next, here's your weather for today.
Okay, so we're going to see some sun, some clouds. A high of 96 right now, 78 degrees, and 611 on the Rule and Ryan Show.
From the big screen to the big house.
Rule and Ryan Celebrity Scoop.
104.1 KRBE.
It is brought to you by Taqueria Randas. And I just want to start out with, I understand that celebrities, some of them have just come from very low places, dark places. And it wasn't until I watched the Netflix series that David Letterman does with interviews of celebrities that I really got to know Tiffany Haddish because, you know, she was a foster kid growing up. She was going from house to house. She never knew when her time would be up from one house to the next. And that's where I learned what her mission is now, which is pretty fantastic. She supplies suitcases to foster kids because she said she would show up after school or wherever she was and they would have a garbage bag with her stuff in it waiting because it was time to go to the next house.
That's so sad.
And it was so awful to
Heartbreaking.
know, A, you're losing the place that you finally got used to, even if it was just for a week, and B, your stuff's in a garbage bag. It's humiliating. So she supplies suitcases to kids in foster care so
think about
they
that
have
every
their
time
own
she's-
little thing.
Probably sees the garbage bags, like
Gotta be
in
a
New York.
trigger.
How they put them out there on the street.
Terrible.
Oh, it's gonna be a
So
weird feeling.
she's, you know, she's made her mark, right? I remember when she first got to present on the Oscars, she had bought this white gown and she wore it and wore it and wore it and wore it. Just, honey, you don't know how much I spent on this gown. She even wore it in that Letterman interview and she goes, this is probably the last time I'm going to wear it because I'm getting a little thicker than I was. And I don't think it's going to fit anymore. Anyway, she was in an interview talking about those early days when she needed to make some money. And here's where she reveals what she did to the great Academy
I'm
Award
a
winning
man like I
Halle
used
Berry.
back in the day when I was struggling for money. I used to sell my panties. I would say that my name was Rosalinda, and I was a housekeeper for Halle Berry, and I have some of her dirty panties. Anybody want to buy some? And I would make $300.
You lying?
Yeah. Every
Send
time.
me that website. That's a website?
It was literally on Craigslist.
Oh, my God.
She bends over and pulls down her panties.
God. Can you believe that, y'all?
That's awesome.
She would just sell her own underwear online and say it was Halle Berry.
think
And
it's
she was
her.
the housekeeper for Halle Berry.
It's a little thing called supply and demand. There's always somebody out there to buy something twisted.
But there's.
I just can't wait for Halle Berry. I would love for somebody to film Halle Berry when she finds this out and see what her
Right.
face is. She's going to be like this. Side
What the
eye,
hell?
eye roll.
But how do you even find that website? Like,
It's very
Which it was on
easy.
Craigslist.
Yeah.
She would just put it up on Craigslist.
But there's
and
new
she
websites
said,
now.
Well, right, sure. But I mean, there's a website for everything, I'm sure. But back then it was Craigslist, and she acted like she was the housekeeper for Halle
Like,
Berry,
anyone-
and she had her dirty panties.
anybody listening
Wild.
that's been to Japan, is it true that you can go to a vending machine and buy used
Underwear?
panties?
I saw that.
I
That
thought
was
I
like
heard-
a Dateline type
I thought
special.
I heard that for years, but I've never
You've never
seen anybody.
You never went to that vending
Well, we have
machine.
plenty
I've
of
never been to
world
Japan. Not that I would anyway, but
that listen to the show. I'm sure somebody could text us at 37530 if they saw that side of Japan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if
Yeah.
they've seen that side of Japan.
I mean, it's got to be real if people talk about it. I just don't know why.
I mean, it just goes to prove you could put anything online and people will believe you. That
Here it
that's
is. At one point, they certainly did. I'm trying to find out if they still do it. Oh, God.
One point,
Algorithm's gonna be so
when?
messed up now.
Like, what's the year?
In 2014, they cracked down on it.
on vending machines that sold
That
underpants?
sold used underwear, yeah.
Ew.
And how do you, I mean, this probably just said that it was. I don't know. It's gross. The whole thing is gross. But she made $300 when she was starving off of a pair of underwear. You know, you could just buy a multi-pack from Target of Hanes and just put them up there and say, hey, guess whose these are?
That's true.
Although I don't know if Halle
Yeah,
Berry
I'm gonna put
strikes
some
me
up.
as a Hanes girl.
I'm just saying in general, whatever she had, I mean, if some pervert wants it, he's going to believe it. And
How
he'd pay
angry would you
$300
be
for it.
if somebody had done that to you?
That's just disgusting and invasive. It's violating, but you can't control it.
And you don't get a cut of the money.
You don't get a cut of the money.
Yeah.
So nice.
Sam would be mad about that.
It's
I want the
You're gonna
$300.
use
It's
my
disgusting,
name.
but
At
I
least
want the
give me-
money.
Yes.
That
Maybe
is
if I had
nasty.
like not a husband and a kid and no morals, I would do it. But
And no
you know,
morals.
Yeah. No respect for yourself.
Unfortunately, I have respect for myself,
you're-
so that's why I'm working this job
Thank God.
instead of selling
So,
feet pics in my panties.
Gross. You know,
You know,
we
make that my spotlight, Kev?
yeah. Well, I talked all over it, so do it again.
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Meet
You know,
Sam.
a couple of days ago, we announced that Post Malone was coming back to the Houston area. He'll be at the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion October 22nd. At 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 3 p.m. we give away tickets. Well, yesterday, Posty posted that he's going to spend 2 nights at the Woodlands. So he added a
Nice.
second show. So now Post Malone is going to have October 22nd and October 23rd at the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. Your first chance to win those tickets will be at 9 a.m. right here on the Rule and Rain Show.
If you win those, you might as well just book a hotel for that since you got free tickets.
Right.
And chances are maybe he's staying at one of those hotels. So I used to stay, I'd always go to the Woodlands, like when Kiss would be there. And I'd get a room, and all of a sudden it's like next to Gene Simmons and them. I missed them by 4 minutes. Because they came straight from the performance in their outfits to
The hotel.
They're walking up the elevator, that stairs. I forget which hotels.
I didn't even know
Would
they did
everybody
that.
be so obvious like that, Eric? You think every star would be obvious like that? Maybe
I
it's
always
one of the
thought
attention.
that,
Well, for those guys, they got all that
Yeah,
equipment.
I
they,
wanna
they're
know.
wearing 80 pounds of
They
gear.
want to get out of there.
I would think, though, that they would take that stuff off backstage. I mean, you're going to walk to your hotel in that?
And I met,
Well,
what's the guy I met? I never knew him until now. Niles Rogers, is that his name?
Yeah. He's
Sounds
the producer.
familiar.
He's
Who's
from Chic.
Yeah, Chic. Les Chic.
Did
whatever.
La
They opened for,
Freak.
they opened for
out.
Duran Duran. I took my wife to that, and he was just hanging out there. We were just talking to him, and they're like, then I see him on all
he
these
also-
documentaries. And all
He
these-
wrote with them.
Yeah, he did a lot of
Oh,
stuff.
he produced so many disco albums in the 70s.
To this day, he is still producing and lending his funky sound to different tracks.
But when you see
He's
someone,
amazing.
you're like, man, that guy's just cool.
Oh man,
Just the vibe of that guy.
that guy is
cool.
is probably one of the best recording artists and writers out there. I can't believe that.
And I didn't
dismissed him.
Yeah, I talked to him for 5 minutes, but I never knew who he was.
Oh man, that's so awkward.
Because I'm just hanging out waiting
then
for my
later
room.
You're like, wait,
We're
who
just
was
talking.
that?
Yes.
You're like, oh no. It's like
Then I saw him on stage that night. That's when
You're
I'm
like, oh, man.
oh, that's that guy, Niles Rogers.
That's a
whatever.
weird
That is
feeling.
So crazy.
I don't know.
Last night, the Astros did not get swept by the Pirates. Thank
Hey,
goodness.
we
Thanks to
won.
Mauricio Dubon with his home run. We won 5-4, although I was sweating at the end of the game when I thought Hader was going to get this guy out, and he got him on base. I go, come on, man, don't drop this now and get a sweat. But let me tell you something. For anybody who went to that game last night, and
how
anybody
was
who's
the
been to
Friends?
any games.
Was the Friends?
It was the Friends-themed Astros game.
What kind of swag?
And it was fun. Well, they didn't. The swag was like a VIP thing that you had to pre-buy, and it was sold out like over The first time I saw it was probably 10 days ago online. It already said sold out.
I'm sure it was. As soon
And it
as
was like
announced.
a bobblehead where they're going pivot, and I think it's I don't know which player it is. I didn't get one because I didn't go to the VIP event, but it's the couch from the stairs where he's going pivot. It's an Astros player in orbit.
Was
I
it
think.
more about like the videos that between the innings, like they maybe show
Yes,
people
because
with
I
the
think
Rachel cut? Or
if you go to my @Radio Rule on Instagram, you can see how they showed like when Altuve was up at bat. They had the Friends picture frame from the door framing Altuve's face, and all the font was the Friends font. And so, like the karaoke that Orbit did was the Friends theme, and they go to because they do this every game. Sometimes they'll do like a prayer by Bon Jovi, or they'll do Journey.
Stop Believin'.
Don't Stop Believin'. This one was the Friends theme. People were singing that. But I think it was very epic. I got to give a spotlight to Orbit and one of the Shooting Star girls who recreated Ross and Rachel's New Year's Eve dance. If you've seen the episode where they got on New Year's Rockin' Eve.
They did that?
And they go, we do the routine. We're going to do the routine. And they did this routine when they were in the 8th grade, like in middle school. And they got them like honorable mention for the brother-sister dance competition.
They did it on New Year's Eve
So they did it on New Year's Eve to try and get on TV. It's like, it's a really ridiculous dance. Orbit and the Shooting Star did it exactly perfect. And then when I got home later and the repeats were on Friends, it was that episode. And I told my husband, I go, oh my God, this is Orbit did this dance.
Did they play it on the screen at the same time or no?
Not, they didn't do the Ross and Rachel on the screen at the same time, but it was just
I wonder if
Orbit,
you have to
the
pay for
Shooting
that.
Star.
Like, would you have to pay for that if you put that on the
royalties?
screen?
Oh, yeah, good point. I don't know.
You know how
It's
we
hard
can't
to-
play music on our podcast?
Right.
Right.
It's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that that show ended May 6, 2004.
I know,
So
it's
for
still going
20
strong.
years ago.
Yeah, it's still going strong, and it was really fun. So, and they had this
Thanks to
huge
Netflix, and then
New audience.
Max.
Oh, yeah. They had this huge balloon. If you go to @Radio Rule, you'll see some of the things that they had around the ballpark. But my complaint is
you meant Monica and Ross.
What did I say?
Rachel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gosh, thanks for catching that.
People were texting.
It is Monica and Ross, brother, sister. Yes. If the thing that I have to complain about, because I got to put it out there, because I'm a diehard Astros fan. I've been a partial or whole season ticket holder for years now, and I can't take it anymore. I left that game after Dubon hit that home run because it was boiling, blanking hot at Minute Maid Park.
Yep.
So freaking hot, you cannot handle it. From the 4th level, I was up at the 400s. There was a lady in the fan like, oh my God, I can't, it's so hot.
Yes.
To the 300s, to the 200s, to the concourse. What is up, Minute Maid Park? I'm sitting there with my niece. And
But you're always hot, though.
No,
Yeah.
honey,
You're
no.
always
No. Venues
No,
are
Kev,
usually.
it is hot.
Sam can attest to this. Sam, you've sat in my seats before, right?
Yes.
I mean, just anywhere you're sitting
So
anywhere.
why are they
It is
cheaping
hot.
out?
It's not, I don't
I
know
don't
what
think
it
you
is.
can catch up. I don't think if they open that thing up, so they need to get some more sunlight or something. You close it with. It's going to take hours and hours. Plus, you had
Cool off,
40,000, 30,000 people in their heat.
So
But that's the
boiling
thing.
hot. I was so angry. It was so
They
hot.
have to anticipate. There's a science to it. They have to anticipate what's this going to be like when we have 30,000
I
people.
watched
in
these
it.
players pitch this year, and they're. And I know these uniforms are.
Yeah, you can
ass,
really see the stains.
but you can really soak through. These guys are sweating in the first inning.
yeah.
Sweating. Y'all was so
Like,
sweating.
A pitcher just
Standing there. Sweating.
And my
He's
niece is
sweating
16
before.
years old. She would usually not pay attention to whether she's having fun. And she was like, I don't know, Theodore, it's so hot. I go, I know. We were sitting there like, if you are holding a Coke, let's say you're holding a Coca-Cola, how much is your arm bent? That's not, what's the degree of this bend right here in the elbow pit? What is that? That was sweating last night. I was like, this is wet. Like my elbow pits are wet. Like it's so hot in here. So I love you, Minute Maid Park, but I'm not loving the fact that you are making us sweat to death. I had to leave after Dubon's home run because I couldn't take it anymore. And I listened to the rest of the game on the way home.
They
I
put more
couldn't believe
fans.
it.
Close game, though, 5-4.
Why don't they put a big fan in the middle of the place, like those look like helicopter blades? Those fans.
Yeah.
No,
like
the
we
ball's
have at the
gonna get
gym?
hit,
The
and it's
ball
going to go
gets-
the wrong way.
Oh, my God. The
You
ball
can't
gets
do that.
sliced,
You can't
comes
do
down.
that.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Scary.
You'll rob us from home runs on that.
Yeah.
Rob us from home runs on that.
So we
Anyway.
must sweat.
Okay, coming up next, things that everyone did as a kid. Strange things. Some not so strange on this list, but nobody ever talks about it. When I go through this list, I'm gonna 100% guarantee the majority of us are like, oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, I did that.
Whatever you're thinking or you've done, maybe in an elevator, you do something weird.
Somebody's done it.
Somebody else has done it for sure.
And a lot of people are doing it apparently. So what are some strange things everyone did as a child, but nobody talks about? You'll find out next on the Rule and Ryan Show.
Turn it up. More of The Rula and Ryan Show.
Okay, my friends, there are things that everyone did as a kid. And when I go over this list, you're like, oh, yeah, I did that. Oh, yeah, I did that. And it's not like you don't talk about it because it's a secret or it's embarrassing. Well, maybe some of it is.
Just triggers a memory.
But the most of it's like, oh, yeah, this is just something kids do. Have you ever seen your own kids do it? Like, example, blowing into a straw while drinking your drink to
Making
create,
bubbles.
especially when it was milk bubbles.
Oh, yeah, blowing bubbles.
Blowing bubbles in your milk.
My kids, I remember buying them that bowl with a straw built into the bowl.
Yes. So they could drink the milk after the cereal?
Yeah, it's cute. This is one that I'm glad is on the list because I think I was traumatized by watching Jaws way too early in my life because I'm the fourth of 5 kids. So you just watch what the oldest kid watches, and it was way too early for me to watch Jaws on TV. But this one, I'm so glad to see that I'm not crazy because it's on this list. When first learning how to swim, having an irrational fear of sharks in the deep end of the pool.
Yeah.
100% I would not. I thought because I couldn't touch the bottom of the pool, Jaws was waiting right
Something gonna
underneath
bite
my
your
toes
feet?
to bite my feet. So everybody had that?
No.
I'm not the only one.
There was a show called
I
The
didn't
Carol
know that.
Burnett Show. And I only had the 4 channels because we didn't have
Growing
cable.
up.
So they're playing the reruns.
So these reruns, and this guy, they did a parody, I guess, on Jaws because I'd never watched Jaws. He was in a bathtub or a toilet or something. So I always thought sharks were in bathtubs or toilets.
Man, see, I'm
It looks so
telling you,
believable, like he was trying
traumatizes
to-
children.
Oh,
Shit
that's
and
right.
stuff.
I remember seeing that rerun. I think the
Was it
Tidy Bowl.
bathtub?
I think the Tidy Bowl man was in the toilet.
Maybe that guy.
Do you remember there used to be a commercial called the Tidy Bowl Man, and he rode. It was for this cleaner called Tidy Bowl, and he wore like
A
like
yacht.
a rich person's yacht outfit. He's got the hat on and everything, and he's
Yeah.
got a little yacht that he float around in your toilet. I mean,
What's that?
who was
So-
thinking
to,
about
like,
that?
clean it? It's
Yeah,
like
he's
the whole...
the tidy bowl is like
That-
a cleaning
like
agent
a
for your
lady would go
toilet.
into the bathroom and lift up. the
Hey,
lid,
Frank.
and there he is. Hey.
That's
It was the same thing with the Chuck
You
Wagon
got a crap one?
Cowboys for the dog food under the
Pervert.
cabinet. Same thing. Remember that one?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. And he has a Chuck Wagon for dog food because that was Chuck Wagon dog food. And so the lady would open the cabinet under the sink, and the guy with the Chuck Wagon and the horses was under there going, yeah.
Well, he
for
would
the
always
dog food.
escape. He would always
And
escape.
he'd run through the house.
Weird. I've never seen that one.
These are
see this-
television commercials we grew up
Sam,
with.
you'd see this little Chuck
And
wagon.
then during soap operas,
And he'd go under
they'd
the
be
sink.
on a beach, the mom and daughter talking. Mom, you ever have the not fresh feeling?
Oh, my
I'm
God.
like, what the hell is this? I still never.
like a warm summer rain on a country road.
I remember that was
sounds like mud.
the car talk. That was car talk. I remember that was like a car commercial for. I mean, it was a feminine hygiene commercial with the mom and the daughter in the car, and then she's having that conversation. I'm
It
like,
would make
oh
me
my God.
so uncomfortable in front of my mom.
Oh wait, by the way, speaking of these old commercials, Courtney Cox got her acting start doing lots of commercials. She was one of the first people to ever do a commercial for feminine hygiene on television where they talk about pads. And she did a side-by-side on her Instagram 2 days ago where she takes the 80s commercial where she's talking about Tampax or something. And the one on top is like, I think if the line was, do you ever feel like you can't find the right blah, blah, blah for your cycle? She's saying the same thing, but she's talking about menopause this time now.
Oh,
she's,
my gosh.
So she's doing
Oh,
a
how
side-by-side
funny.
of instead of trying to sell Tampax, she's trying to sell
That's cute.
some remedy for menopause, and she's
that's
using
funny.
almost the same words and just
Smart.
changing them. It's cute. Okay, so here are other things we did as kids you probably don't talk about, but everybody has the same commonality. If you ever drew the sun in the top corner of a piece of paper,
Oh,
course.
yes.
Yeah.
That's how you
whether,
did
whether
every
it was
picture.
half of the sun with just the rays or the whole circle of the sun with
Half
the
the
rays.
sun because I can't draw.
It
so.
would be like a quarter sun because they'd ask you,
Yeah,
like in
quarter.
kindergarten, first grade, draw a picture of your house, and you'd have your house, which is very simple design, got the triangle roof, and then the sun would be in the corner.
Yeah. Did you ever believe that if you swallowed gum, it'd stay in your stomach for 7 years?
That's because
Yes.
our parents told us that.
Yeah.
That's
That
a
was parents'
classic.
fault.
Or did you ever believe that if you ate a watermelon seed, now you're panicked that a watermelon will grow in your stomach?
Or corn.
What about that one?
Corn
Corn
grows,
growing in your
corn
stomach?
grows in there.
No, I knew that. I knew that would leave us.
But well, well, then
we
you see
clearly
proof.
saw that
Yeah,
one.
we knew that.
The other one we didn't get proof from.
Look, it didn't.
I can tell you this because I know my child's not awake listening, but when my second daughter was about 4 or 5 years old, she had told me that we were going to eat whatever we had on the table, and I think we'd gotten some barbecue and there was corn, and she was like making these faces. She's very expressive with her face. She's like, Mommy, no, I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to eat that. I go, what's wrong, baby girl? This is so good. You don't like it? No, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. And I said, what? And then she whispered, she goes, I saw that in the toilet. I never want to see it again.
Oh, my God.
She was so freaked out by corn.
I guess
You gotta
She
chew
will
it
not
better.
eat it.
I guess
She will
parents
not
have.
eat it.
We all have to talk to our kids about the corn.
Yeah.
We have to have the corn talk. I guess.
It's the
You're
one
not
year
so fresh
corn.
feeling in the
It
corn
doesn't get
talk?
Age
processed.
7, I guess.
Oh
Is that what you
my
do it? The corn
God.
talk. I don't know.
Okay, how about this one? Let's see. Gosh, this is a weird one. This is kind of dark. It says things that people thought about when they were kids, but they don't talk about. Sitting in church, being bored, looking up at the massive light fixtures, and trying to figure out who would die if they fell on them. I never thought that.
Yeah, I
I'm
could
sure I
probably
was
that was
there.
me. Yeah.
I was thinking, can I swing on that? Like, monkeys in the monkey bars. Can I go from one chandelier to the next? I was thinking that, but I never thought I would fall and kill people in
Sounds like
church.
Final Destination type stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Having a bodyboard slip out from underneath you while swimming and having it uppercut you in the face.
Oh, yeah, right in the chin.
Yes.
Oh my
Remember,
God, yeah.
you push it down with your hands, and then
Of course.
Boom. Right between the Adam's apple and the chin.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
It's funny.
I forgot about that. Let's see. How about this one? Pretending to, quote, smoke when it's cold outside because you can see your breath.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't pretend to smoke, but I definitely would always do that. And there was those candy
cigarettes.
little gum things. It was gum wrapped in paper with powdered sugar, and that's fake cigarette.
They
you
had
could blow
two
it
different
out.
types. They had the little chalk cigarettes.
it's like mint.
Yeah, it
Those
tastes
were
like
bad.
mint.
I like those better than the other ones.
And
I like
then
the
the other
rolled
ones. The other ones had the gum, like Rolla said, but it had like a little thing of powdered sugar, and you'd go, and it'd make a smoke cloud.
Right.
And they still have the
paper.
chewing tobacco one.
They had like paper around
League
some
Chew.
of them. Yeah, Big League
Yeah.
Chew was a whole
But if you eat
different-
too much of that at one time, it'll like get stuck in your throat.
Yeah, it's loose.
It's like you have to pull it all out.
Gosh, Aaron, how much-
Ew.
We
you
used to
guys
eat
have
that
the
in
whole
Little
package
League.
at once.
Yeah, but every guy wants to do it because you see your favorite baseball player used to chew tobacco.
Really?
Like
Well,
in
they still have
the
Big
80s
League
and
Chew.
90s,
My
they-
kids like to chew that.
Every player had they're all spitting. I'm like, I want to be like them. I want to chew tobacco.
We're talking about things that everyone did as a kid, but nobody really talked about. I didn't do this one, but y'all tell me if y'all did. Roll your straps of your backpack as tight as humanly possible. I
Yeah, you
never
roll
did
them up
this.
from the bottom, right?
No, I don't think so.
Not
'Cause
like
they hang-
fasten them, or I don't know.
No, because they hang down. If you're a little thing, then they hang. The straps hang
Kept tripped over
way
his.
down,
Aw.
and then you can roll them up.
couldn't
tighter
wear
to you
backpacks. You can only put it on one shoulder.
Yeah. I
It
only
wasn't
did a
cool
one,
to wear
one
both
shoulder
straps.
strap. That was
for a
it.
long time.
Yeah, but it's really
Yeah.
secure.
But now
if
you
it's on
can't
post.
because there's so much
No,
in the
nobody-
backpack. You're gonna have sciatica problems when you're 10.
Definitely,
Well,
that's
because
the
they
thing.
phased out lockers at most schools. And, they have some if you request them, but the locker used to be like a
So
social hangout.
yeah,
and-
not only carrying your books, they have their little laptop or their little computer they
everything,
use
yeah.
for the
In there,
school.
too.
Like, why don't you put all the books in
Onto
there? Why
that.
do they have to have the books with them?
I know.
Okay, how about this one? This is more for girls because we have access to this. Definitely have done this. Sam, have you done this? For no reason, you will pinch your lip or your nose with a hair clip.
Yes.
Why? Why do we do this?
Yes.
It hurts so bad.
I thought you were going to say something totally different.
What? What did you think I was going to say?
That you used to take your socks and put them in your shirt to give you boobs.
Did you do that?
Yes. You never did that? You used to walk around with your friends. You're like, yeah. Yes, you would take like your socks and then
That's
you'd
so
put them in your
funny.
shirt and you'd make fake boobs.
But just when you were at home playing privately, not you wouldn't go to school.
you go to
with
I
school?
socks in
wouldn't
your-
go to, no. I wouldn't go to school.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
They had
lumpy
the-
over
They
here.
had the water bra when she went to school.
That's true.
Right.
That was big back
I think
then.
I got that when I was like 5. You know what I mean? So I was ready.
That thing went away, didn't it? It was huge in
The water bra?
2006.
Yeah.
The
Do
water
they still
bra.
make it? Let me look at it.
It was like all the rage, and then it just
Yeah, like Victoria's
Disappeared.
Secret was like known for that.
Yeah, and it wasn't like legit like a water balloon bra, but it was a water element to the pad, to the silicone stuffing or whatever the hell they did.
Yeah, you can still get them on
to make them,
Amazon.
like, push-up bra big.
Yes, like double the size.
And now they have all these.
False
Here's my
advertising.
thing, Sam. What I can't understand because I see, and it's not cheap. I see it from places like Marshalls all the way to Nordstrom. They have these things that are supposed to be some kind of a silicone adhesive
Yes.
piece.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to go under your boob and pull it towards your shoulder to give it lift, and it sticks to your body like it's a bra. I just cannot even waste my
They
time.
do that for your
trying
face
that.
too. You can
What?
do that. Yeah. When Booster would cut hair, he would tell me about women who would have it taped back on
What, their necks?
So they gave
their
themselves a little
faces?
temporary
you're-
facelift.
because it
So
could
yeah,
your
yeah.
hair. Your hair hides it.
Yes,
If
because
you
it's a little string.
Gets
Yeah.
rid of the.
You can
Touch
put yourself
things up.
back and tape it back onto your head,
Then
and
do
then
a little
hide it
tie
with your
in
hair,
there.
and then it'll pull your face back a little bit.
Wow.
But yeah, there's like the boob tape, like that you can use. But I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I just feel like that's not any support at all. I would feel all weird underneath, like I'm not
what
supported
if you
at
sneezed
all.
and it just
Oh,
it
one
doesn't. It's
fell down.
super sticky.
Oh, does it
Because if
hurt?
it's hot and
It
it's
is
sweaty in Houston,
Oh
Yeah.
no.
and your body is
Certain
sweaty.
ones are so sticky.
How do you take it off?
Hurts. You have to like
No.
rip it off like a Band-Aid.
One time I used those pedals for, headlights. Oh my God, Sam. They were stuck on me for like 3 days and hurt so bad I couldn't get them off. And
Yes.
this is the weirdest thing. Take your shirt off and you don't have nipples because they're covered. You can't get that thing off.
Or you wake up like
oh
going
my
to
God, it
bed
hurts
and
so
you wake up and
bad.
you're like, wait, what?
Can you use Goo Gone on that?
No, you would not
you
put
cannot
Goo
use
Gone
Goo Gone on your
body.
skin.
Hey, yo. Time for KRBE's Rule and Riot Show to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
Okay, so if you're looking for a free backpack and school supplies, Jim Adler and Associates, they are doing this. Their location is 12,605 East Freeway, and that is going to be 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on August 3rd. Now,
What is it?
you get handed a free backpack, and basically you've got to have like your kid with you. If you're mom and dad and you show up and you're not there with your child, they're not going to give anything. But if you bring your kids with you,
Child must be present. We talked about this yesterday. We're going to hit this a lot so people remember this weekend. 700 to 800 backpacks will be given away. Your child must be present. Your
That's
child
pretty
must
amazing.
be present. You can't just show up and say, hey, I have 5 kids. I need 5 backpacks. No.
Nope.
Can I borrow Santiago?
No, Kevin, this is not for you.
You don't need a book bag, but sure.
And then
good
put them
luck.
in the bag.
I don't think a
Put 'em
15-month-old
in the
needs a
book bag,
giant
backpack.
book bag full of school supplies.
All right, this is a good cause right here. A Texas family is asking for help. Their 9-year-old boy lost his prosthetic leg while vacationing in Galveston. The family went to Galveston. Ken Swindle said that he took his family on an impromptu trip to Galveston last Sunday. His 9-year-old son, Jay, saw the water, got excited, and jumped in the water before he could take off his prosthetic leg. They spent most of the day searching the water for the prosthetic leg. No luck. They used a metal detector group. They volunteered. They could not find this.
Sucks.
So here's
Which beach were they in? Does it say?
Yeah, do you
like
know
Stewart
what area?
Beach or the
it doesn't
main
say
seawall
what
area?
beach, but Ken said the replacement will cost about $7,000 for this prosthetic leg. So they have launched a GoFundMe site, and all you have to do is type in "It's all about the leg." 2 exclamation points. And Monica Swindell is organizing the fundraiser. Because, I mean, think about it. These things are amazing. What they do, these prosthetic
If it's
legs.
that much, it's not like you just have an extra one laying around. Who's got $7,000? Just
No, and they have to be fit.
Yeah, oh,
fitted properly.
But if you had 2, and then you change as you get older, I bet, right?
Yes.
So you can't just have an extra one laying around that you never use.
No, I
Right.
wouldn't think so.
But those
you can-
EpiPens I got for my daughter because she has the reactions with nuts. It's like they're so expensive, and you
Yeah.
never use them, and they have to get a new one every year.
Do they change the dosage based
I
on?
don't know if it's a scam or not.
Oh, if they expire or not?
And they say it expires after a year or something.
Really?
2, I can't
Yeah,
remember
better
now.
safe than sorry. You got to do it.
It's like $700-800. But yeah, you're right. Got to do it. Save your life.
Absolutely. Once again, if you want to help this family, their GoFundMe search is just "It's all about the leg," 2 exclamation points. That's what's going down in H-Town.
All right, my friends, coming up next, it's Rule and Ryan's, Rule and Ryan's Roses time. Gosh, I have a frog in my throat. Rule and Ryan's Roses time.
Better do
That's
a better
where
job
we-
selling those roses than that.
That's right. I gotta get my...
Would you like some?
Hello. Would you like some tulips? I'm thirsty. It's Thursday. It's like some tulips. Thorny Thursday. Okay, so you think your mate might be cheating on you. You come to us to help you get answers. We will help someone get those answers next on the Rule and Ryan Show.